I told you I'm queen of handouts, and on your way in, you picked up a handout that said perfect squares. I bet a bunch of you already know your perfect squares. I bet you do. But if you don't, we're going to go over them, and like starting tomorrow, I might say what's 4 squared, and I want you all to answer 16. You need to learn 1 through 25. We're going to have a perfect squares test. The perfect squares test is going to be, I believe, 825. So if you're if you're like me and you have a planner and you want to write this down, I believe 825 is the perfect squares test. Now I realize it's 814, so that's 11 days away. So you feel pretty confident. But if you don't even know what 3 squared is, then you got a lot to work on. You've got to know our perfect squares. Okay. Are there any questions over the weekend? You got so stuck on one of the homework. Okay, there are a couple in here who didn't have a chance to do it because they're new to us or they just weren't here on Friday. So I'm not going to go over the answers. But if there's one you're confused on or want to ask me about later, you sure can. Plus, there are a couple of these on our checkpoint today. So if Addison, mind if I pick on her, she didn't do this, but if Addison had just copied Seth, I'm about to find out with that checkpoint. Okay, can someone want to be nice and volunteer for number 5 on the workshop? Yes, ma'am.
10K2.
10K squared.
Yeah. Minus 3K plus 9.
Minus 3K plus 9. She combined all those like terms. She put the K squareds together and got 10K squared. Positive 2, negative 5, she got a negative 3. The 9's all by itself, she brought it down. That's perfect. Are there any questions about that one? And then we get to number 6. Are there any volunteers on number 6? A little harder than number 5 because of that minus sign. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go for it, Natalie.
Negative B squared.
Negative B squared.
Minus AB.
Minus AB.
Minus 2.
Minus 2. I believe she is completely right. But again, Natalie can do some math, and I have to distribute the negative. I get my signs wrong if I don't distribute that negative. So I would have extra work than her. I would have B squared plus AB minus 2. And then minus 2B squared minus 2AB. And I do that, and I distribute that negative just so I can keep my signs right. So let's see if she was correct. She had a positive B squared minus 2B squared. She got negative B squared. That's right. Positive AB minus 2AB. She got a negative AB. That's correct. And then the negative 2 all by itself. She's completely 100% correct. I just can't do it in my head. I make sign errors. So if you're like me and you're a sign error person, you probably want to actually distribute. Okay, are there any questions about this? We did 3 ACT prep problems on Friday. We'll do another couple tomorrow. We're going to skip it today because of that checkpoint. I want to make sure we got plenty of time for it. When we left off last week, we were on our notes, we were on page 2. So not the very front page of the packet, but the next page. So all we got to talk about on Friday was 1-1, which is how to classify a real number. Is it rational, irrational, whole, natural, an integer? That's all we got to talk about. Today we're going to actually focus more on reviewing our algebra skills, which we've kind of already been doing in our bell ringers anyway, so it should be a pretty fast one. For instance, that top learning target, which you do not have to write down because remember you got a whole list of them. That top learning target says about order of operations, which that's what we've been doing in our bell ringers, and simplifying algebraic expressions, that's what we've been doing in our bell ringers too, so it should be a fast one. Okay, so on number 1, I see 8B, 4C, I combine them, I get 12B, negative 3, positive 9C, I get positive 6C. Are there any questions about number 1? Okay, well, I would love for someone from not table 2 to volunteer for number 2? Also, you know what? Miss Compton's having a blind day. What are we starting today that I hadn't said a word about? The number strips. So, Natalie, you grab your number strips. You volunteered both the bell ringers and got both of them right. Give your group 2 points. So you should already be at a 2. All the other groups are still at a 0. Now that we're recalling that we're going to get some points today for answering questions, would some other group like to volunteer for number 2? Yes, dear.
When we volunteer, we need to tell you the steps that we did.
You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just tell me the last answer. Whatever you want. Okay, can someone from any other table besides table 2 at least tell me the first step? Okay, I heard distribute. Let's give table 6 a point. Table 1, you want to actually help me distribute? Some group want to actually help me distribute? Yes, dear. Go ahead, table 6. What do you get when you distribute? Negative 10G, and then what? Plus 12K. Okay, and then table 6 still in on the point. So someone else, another group besides 6, like to distribute on the next one? Yes, you may give yourself another point for that, Alana. Yes, dear. Okay, distribute 9, and what should I get? Positive or negative? Positive 18, and I heard a lot of groups, so I'm probably going to feel sorry for you and give lots of groups points in a second. And then negative 9 and positive 4, I should get negative 36. Okay, I know for sure I want to give table 1 and table 3 a point. I'm going to give lots more, Alana. I can totally see you getting well over 5 today. Okay, and then we get to the fun part, and Paige has her hand up. I'm guessing she's wanting to help me. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I love, she's adding the negative 10 and 18G, and you get 8G. I love that she picked the G's, because, you know, I told you I'm an alphabet stickler, so I like that G comes before K. And what did you get? Okay, give your group another point. Yes, dear? Absolutely. Okay, are there, for getting points and actually doing math, are there any questions about this? Has anyone forgotten how to distribute? They don't understand how Paige combined the like terms. Anyone stuck? Okay, well then let's keep flying. I'm going to see, let's see, I'm going to mute my screen and work number 3. I would love to hear the answer. The first group I hear with the answer, I'll give them the point. Yes, dear. Say, let him finish the answer. Yes, sir. You're so close. You're so close. Paige. Okay, Paige has the right answer. She can get her point. What went wrong with Seth's group? You know what? If Seth's group thinks like me, you know what I had to do? I had to distribute that negative first. So I had 9x minus 3y minus 2, and then a negative times a negative 4y made a positive 4y. So if you ended up getting 7y, I suggest you distribute that negative first, because that negative is getting in your way. And then when I combine my like terms, 4y, negative 3y, I got a positive y. There was no one to combine with the x's. There was no one to combine with the 2. Okay, Arturo, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was just saying that before we started doing this, I noticed it, so I distributed it.
Perfect. Perfect.
And that's how I ended up with that as well.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now we get to the fun one, and I know no group wants to volunteer for it. Why does no one want to volunteer for it? Fraction. And if you volunteer for it, we're going to fractions. Our friends in this room, we're going to leave it as fractions. So if Natalie's volunteering, she better not change the decimals because I want the fractions. Okay, Natalie, go ahead and tell me.
You would distribute,
Okay. So what do I get?
wouldn't you do 1/3 times 5?
Yeah, 1/3 times 5, but what do you get?
5/3
So 5/3 x, your group can help you.
plus 8/3.
Okay, and Natalie, give your group a point. Another group want to help me finish the second half? Say it again. Okay, so he said 6/4x, and I'm going to write it, but we're going to come back to it. And then if I distribute the other one, what should I put for it? What should I put for it? Yeah, I'm gonna put I'm gonna leave the y over here. I'm just gonna put 2/4. The purple's good. Give your group a point, table 1. The purple's good. There's something wrong with the red. Yeah, table 1. Table 1 knew that they needed to simplify. Can you just simplify in your head and not write that step out? Yes. If you're good at simplifying fractions, you sure can. But we already wrote it, so we might as well do it again. So 5/3 x plus 8/3 y. Plus, and then table 5 is trying to volunteer. They're trying, so let's let table 5 fix it. Table 5, you want to help me reduce? 3/2, and then 2/4, what does that reduce to? 1/2y, and everything looks so nice, except now we're at that part where we want to combine our like terms. We would love to put those x's together. We would love to put those y's together. Well, I mean, if it said to multiply, but it says you're supposed to be adding.
So you would add them.
We're supposed to add them, but you can't add them when they don't have the same denominator. Okay, so what we need to do is give everybody the same denominator. What is a good number that should be in everyone's denominator? Arturo.
6.
6 is what we should go with. Why 6?
You guys, they're both this because 2 times 3 and 3 times 2.
Okay, table 2 and table 3, give yourselves a point.
I think
Okay, table 5, they're still in it. Table 4 or 5 or 6, because I'm telling you, somehow in the back I'm losing you. I'm not losing you. You're trying real hard. I just hear the front voices first. It's the worst. Can someone actually help me make everyone have a denominator of 6? That one be 10/6. Give your group a point. What would the next one be? 16. The next one, 9. And then the last one, 3. Okay, so I know I heard, let's give 4 points. They haven't gotten a point in a while. I'll give 5 another point. I know I heard you, but I swear your group's like 5 already.
We're at 4.
Okay, so I knew we were close. Okay, and you're going to say, but Miss Compton, 10/6 reduces, 16/6 reduces, 9/6 reduces. Well, we did this so they all had the same denominator. That way we can finally, for real, put those like terms together. So when I put my x's together, I end up getting 19/6x. When I put my y's together, I end up getting 13/6y. And if that reduced any, I would simplify, but sadly, 19, 13, those don't go in anything nicely. Okay, are there any questions on number 4? Are there any questions on number 4? Yes, dear?
Do we need to, like, if we have more than this, we always remember
Paige, you may give your group a point. How many points are y'all at?
5.
That's what I thought. Paige asked the best question of the day. Did I use any decimals up here?
No.
No. If it's given in fractions, leave it in fractions. Unless I tell you otherwise, and I probably won't tell you otherwise. Now, if it starts off as decimals, Seth can leave it as decimals. But otherwise, there's some rounding error and stuff going on that your old math teacher used to forgive, and now you're in algebra 2 with trig, and they don't forgive that. We do not forgive that. Okay, so let's flip to the next page. We're going to quickly do these, and then it's time for our checkpoint. Okay, so simplifying algebraic expressions is easy. Actually, evaluating is even easier in my mind, because now, instead of even having the variables a, b, or c, we're going to plug in these numbers instead. So number 1, I'm going to have 2, and then negative 2. And then b is actually 3, so 3 plus 3 squared. And all of that seems lovely. I mean, just truly lovely. All of that seems lovely, except for the fact that some of us are going to mess up our order of operations. We are. Okay, so what was that expression we used to use to help us with order of operations? PEMDAS. All 6 groups can add a point. I heard at least one person from each group say that thing. Yes, I do. Okay, so PEMDAS says parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So the P is for parentheses. I see a bunch of parentheses up here. I know 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. I'm supposed to do 3 plus 3 and get 6 squared. And now I see an exponent, so I need to do that. So I'm going to have negative 4 plus 36, and my final answer is 32. If you can actually do some math in your head, or like Alani just got a calculator, can the calculator do this one line? Probably. However, I'm going to warn you that if you are trusting this calculator, so 2 times negative 2, parentheses, plus 3 squared, make sure you type it in the calculator, exactly like it was written on your paper. Because if Paige doesn't put the parentheses like was on her paper, she's not going to get the right answer. But if you put it exactly the way you had it on your paper, your calculator can do that kind of problem for you instantly. So my calculator got 32, way less steps. So am I going to be mad at Seth if all he has is 32 encircled? No. But in retrospect, if that's all Seth has and he misses it because he didn't type it in his calculator correctly, can I really give him partial credit? No. So, I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, now finally, Seth's excited. We got some decimals. 5 times C is 4.2 minus 2 times, let's see, B is 3, A is negative 2, plus C is 4.2. Are there any questions on number 2 on how I plugged it in? Because it was a little harder. Okay, well, I need to know what 5 times 4.2 is.
9.2.
Table 4, no, was that not table 4? That was table 1, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know, so I'm going to keep that point to myself. 21, I agree. Was it you? I really thought it was. How many points do y'all have? You can give yourself one. Okay, and then my real question is when I get to this 3 minus negative 2, what am I supposed to do with that? You make it a positive 2 because it's minus negative 2, so what do you actually end up getting? Positive 5, because you end up making this a positive, so it's 3 plus 2, which is 5. And then we got that 4.2 still.
And then you do 5 plus 4.2.
Yes, why do we do that next? Because of those parentheses. So is your group finally at your 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So 9.2. Valeria, does your group want to finish this out so I can give y'all another point, please?
Sure.
Dead? I got some stinkier ones in the closet if you'd rather have one of those. Yes, ma'am. What'd you say? 28.2.
Would you do 2 times 9.2?
I did not get that, ma'am. Table 5, did y'all get something else? Okay, table 5, you can give yourself a point. Did you, Valeria, I don't know who you're trusting, but did you do 2 times 9.2? Because if you did, I got 18.4.
Yeah.
And then I did 21 minus 18.4, and I got 2.6. But I knew you were wrong because in my head, 2 times 9 is about 18, so it was 21 minus 3-ish. So I knew it was supposed to be less than 21. Okay, what probably happened is whoever did it probably did it all straight in one line in their calculator, didn't put parentheses, didn't do whatever. Calculator doesn't understand what you're doing unless you tell it the order of operations it's supposed to do. Okay, we get to number 3, still evaluating, but we changed the numbers. 9z, but z is actually 1/3. Minus 4y, y is 2.6. And then plus 2w, w is -3. Okay, you're very excited about that 1/3.
Yes.
Why are we very excited about that 1/3? Okay, so 9 times 1/3, you actually end up getting 3. You're at 5, you're at 5?
Yes.
Okay, 5 or 6, 4, 5 or 6. Can you do 4 and 2.6 for me? Alana, your group's in real quiet. Yes, here. You may give your group a point. -10.4. You're like there, aren't you? You're at 4, right? Yes, they're at like 2 or 3. They need to talk for a sec. Like, you're good. No, not a bad Seth. We want you to talk. That's the plan. And then 2 times -3, I'm going to steal your joy. That's -6. Okay, I add all those things together. I get a number. What is that number? -13.4. I know you two are there. Table 4, you may give yourself a point. Thanks, Patrick, for that. And I heard Patrick. I know I can give Patrick a point. I thought I heard Patrick. Patrick had made eye contact? Okay, well then thank you, Patrick, for being honest. Your group can still have a point for that. Okay, I did 3. I know, right? I did 3 minus 10.4 minus 6 and got -13.4. Okay. Are there any questions about the math?
No.
Okay, we have 2 left, and they're kind of more difficult. And I swear that my groups that aren't at a 5 yet, you're having a great day. We're going to get everyone to a 5 plus. Just wait patiently. It's going to happen. Okay, so let's see. B squared is actually going to be -0.8 squared. C squared is going to be 5 squared, all divided by A, which is -4. And then D is 1/5. And I'm not excited about that 1/5. It's trying to make my life complicated. I am. I know. Yeah. -0.8 squared. I got what? Okay, if you got -0.64, what went wrong? When you do -0.8 times -0.8, should you get negative something? I thought a negative times a negative was a... So again, what you did was this in your calculator. You just put -0.8 squared. You need to put it in parentheses the way it was on our paper of the 0.8 and then squared. That way you'll get that positive 0.64. Perfect. Now you do. 5 squared is 25, and then in that denominator that Natalie told me to avoid, I'm going to have -4/5. I did 4 times -4 times 1/5, and I -4/5. I'm still avoiding it. Don't worry. Okay, when you actually multiply 0.64 times 25, what do you end up getting? So you get 16 in the numerator, and in that denominator, we still have the negative 4/5.
I got negative 0.8.
Okay. I'm assuming you put 16 divided by negative 4 divided by 5 in your calculator, and you got negative 0.8. Okay. Do you remember your teacher saying flip the second multiply? It was not good math the way we explain it. It's really not. But if that bothers you and you can't just put it all in your calculator at one time, I would break these two things apart. I would say I have 16 over 1, and then it's divided by negative 4/5. And your math teacher, when you first learned about fractions, they would explain when it had that division symbol, you're actually supposed to make it a multiplication, and you would flip the second one. And when you did that, you would end up canceling across. You don't actually have to if you don't want to, but you used to. And so I would have negative 20 over 1, which is just negative 20. Now, my gosh, that's not what we got with our calculator. And you're right, it's not. I typed it in like Natalie did, and I got negative 0.8. However, when I put my parentheses in around that 4/5 so it would stay together, I actually did end up getting the negative 20. So my suggestion, if you don't understand what Ms. Compton just did with the fractions, because you've always hated fractions and you just don't know what to do, and you're determined to put it in your calculator, make sure you put some parentheses around the fraction. Put parentheses around it. Save it.
And you know that alpha, if you did alpha y equals, it sets the fraction up for you.
Alpha y equals.
Do alpha y equals.
Oh, Miss Brewster knows some tricks. If you press alpha, which is the button down here on my calculator screen, and then y equals, you can put in a fraction all on its
Yeah,
own.
and just hit enter.
Now, I tend to be a little lazy, so I'll just go ahead and put it in parentheses.
Oh, and it's, well, it.
For me, I need it to not be, I need it to delete. I need
so
16,
you
mine.
Yeah. You did
16
that.
divided by 4/5.
You can do it that way, or you can delete all that, and then you put alpha y equals,
Okay, alpha y equals,
enter,
enter,
put on 16.
16,
On the top, go to the bottom.
and then
put
alpha y equals again.
again.
Alpha y equals,
But you gotta hit your left button and put your negative out there.
yeah, I've left off my negative.
Yeah, put your negative. No, on the bottom.
Miss Compton.
There
we go.
and then go all the way to the right. There it is.
Okay, so Miss Brewster knows the trick even more. So if you like it, because I know I'm like this, I want my calculator to look like my paper. And since on my paper it looked like a really long fraction, the fact that she knows buttons to make it still look like a really long fraction is really cool. Because, let's face it, that makes more sense than the way Miss Compton does it, where it's all on one line. And you're like, I think that looks like my paper, maybe, but not really. Okay, so then we get to go to another fun one, and I swear we're done doing new things. So B is negative 0.8 plus 6 over 4 times D is 1/5 plus C is 5.
I got 0.25.
Oh Lord, she's on it. Okay, I need to add 6 plus, clear. Negative 0.8 plus 6, and what did you get when you did negative 0.8 plus 6?
5.2.
I know that's correct. And then in the denominator, what did you do?
I did 4 and then parentheses 1 over 5 plus 5 and then hit parentheses again. And I got 20.8.
So you did it all on your calculator?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know me, I'm going to have to do it with math, because you expected that,
Wait,
but
is that still the answer though?
you're still going to be fine. Or I believe. I don't know. I'm trusting you, so that's kind of scary. Okay, I'm going to give, this one is 1/5. I need that 5 to have that same denominator, so I'm going to change it to 25 over 5. That way I can add these two things. So I'm going to actually have 5.2 over 4, and then 1 plus 25 is 26, so 26 over 5. Now, Natalie's right. Do I actually have to do all the things? Could you still just put it in your calculator and make all of the magic happen? Of course. Does Ms. Compton tend to do all the things? Well, yes, she really likes math. Okay, I do 26 times 4. I get 104. So I actually have 5.2 divided by 104 divided by 5. And then using Miss Brister's handy dandy new trick, I'm going to press alpha y equals 5.2, and then alpha y equals again 104 divided by 5. If I'm that smart today. And I got 0.25. Oh. Okay, Natalie's figured out how to get this way, way faster just typing it in her calculator. She typed in, frankly, from this step. She went straight to her calculator from here. And she sure can, but if you do that, make sure you're either pressing the button like Miss Brister was to make it into a fraction, or you're using a ton of parentheses, because otherwise, if all Seth has on his paper is 0.25 circled, what if he's wrong? What if he's wrong? How do I know he is alive and on Earth? Okay. If you finish your checkpoint quickly, what we're going to say, you don't have to clean your desk off, you don't have to do anything. If you finish your checkpoint quickly, what I would do is finish page 5 and work on page 6. That's what your homework is anyway. Go ahead and get it done. It shouldn't take long. How we're going to do a checkpoint is different than I did last year because there's so many of them. I'm going to hand you this paper. You're going to work the problems. You're not going to talk to your friends. They're not going to help you test today, so there's no point in helping you now. When you finish it, you're going to bring it to me, and you're going to lay it right here on my desk. When I've checked yours, I'll call your name, say Natalie Kinnear, and either I'll say awesome job or I'll say fix number 5. I'll tell her whatever it is she needs to do. If I did not see your face last week, and this is just too hard today, we can work on it another day. But if I've seen your face, and you're just not on Earth with me, then we have a problem. If your group is not at, let's see, Natalie, what's your group at? 5, what's your group at? 5, what's your group at? 4. Valeria, what's your group at?
3.
What's your group at table 5? You're at a 5? What's your group at?
3.
Okay, so everybody give your group 2 more points so we can get a one-day group up to the 5. And every other group up to the 5 because everyone's had a great day. So give your group 2 more points. You can be at a 7 or whatever. We add 2 more. So you can be at a 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. Yes. When you finish your checkpoint, bring it to me so we can go ahead and make sure everything's good to go. I know.